What the
Stop.
No,
Stop.
I'm not. No. Hell no.
What the
Oh.
They were soaked.
What was in the drink?
Kidding.
What was in that drink?
In the drink?
Yeah. You gave it to Will.
It was Coke from Beacon Hotel.
Like Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
Alright. Making sure. You gave it to the kid.
I gave it to a kid.
They were lost, vanished without a trace. For days, weeks, even months, their families lived in agony, desperate for answers, clinging to the hope that somehow, somewhere, they were still alive. Then, against all odds, they appeared, not through a phone call, not through a police rescue, but on video. But why did they vanish in the first place? How did they survive? And who finally recognized them when no one else could? Let's dive into the most shocking cases of 4 missing persons found alive on video. On May 8, 2021, Mal Perales was driving down Packer Drive Northeast alongside the Rogue River in Belmont, Michigan. She and her 2 roommates were returning from a night out, their spirits high as they chatted and laughed. However, their carefree drive took a sudden and eerie turn at around 2:30 a.m. when they encountered something chilling near the Rogue Hollow corridor. One of the passengers noticed a figure standing by the roadside, its silhouette barely visible in the dim glow of their headlights.
What the
Stop.
No,
Stop.
I'm not. No. Hell no.
What the
Oh.
They were soaked.
As their car moved closer, they realized it was a young woman, soaked from head to toe, as if she had just emerged from the river. She appeared distressed, banging her head on the pavement and waving frantically for help. Alarmed by what they had seen, Mal and her friends decided to turn around and take a closer look. They captured the bizarre encounter on video, which Mal later posted on TikTok. The footage quickly went viral, sparking a flood of speculation. Some viewers believed they had witnessed a supernatural event, conjuring theories of ghosts and spirits. However, Mal later followed up with additional videos, dispelling the paranormal rumors and revealing the real story. Despite their fear, she and her friends had circled back multiple times, keeping an eye on the distressed woman while remaining inside their vehicle. Though they were too frightened to approach her directly, they did the responsible thing by calling the police and waiting until authorities arrived. Emergency responders took the woman to a nearby hospital, where she was treated for cold exposure. As the investigation unfolded, a shocking revelation came to light. The woman had fallen into the Rogue River on the east side and managed to swim across to the road.
Yep, she had to have come up out of the water. Yep, there's a dig spot there. So she came up from down there. That's had to have been why she was so wet. This was the spot that she had left. I don't know why or what was going on.
Even more puzzling was the fact that she was from Kalamazoo, a town over 60 miles away. Yet she had no recollection of how she ended up in Belmont or how she fell into the river. Medical experts later suggested she may have been experiencing a rare psychological condition known as fugue state. This disorder causes temporary amnesia, often leading individuals to travel far distances or behave in uncharacteristic ways without any awareness of their actions. The evidence strongly supported this theory, especially after authorities discovered her car parked behind a random house east of the river. It was likely that she had driven there herself, but had no memory of doing so. Mal, determined to uncover more about the woman's identity, shared the video in a local Facebook group, hoping someone might recognize her. However, most responses were unhelpful. Some residents dismissed the screams they had heard that night as the cries of a wild animal. A few, however, recalled seeing the woman earlier that evening. One person claimed they had spotted her near Van Dam and Packer Woods around 10:15 p.m. When asked if she needed help, she had simply replied, "No." Another local recounted a strange encounter where the woman had wandered into their neighbor's home, called out hello 3 times, and then left without explanation. These accounts only deepened the mystery surrounding her case. Though authorities and hospital staff refused to release the woman's real name, Mal's research pointed to a strong possibility. Based on the details available, she may have been Mei Zhou, a 28-year-old Chinese woman reported missing from Kalamazoo on May 6, 2021. Before her disappearance, Mei had confided in friends that she believed she was being stalked by someone she met online. It remains unclear whether her fears were justified or a result of paranoia. However, the constant stress of feeling watched may have triggered her fugue state, causing her to dissociate and unknowingly embark on a 60-mile journey before ending up in the river. Whether she ever fully recovered from the ordeal remains unknown, but one can only hope she received the help she needed. In a separate but equally bizarre case, a missing teenager was unknowingly captured on video during a live stream in Miami, Florida. In June 2024, popular streamers Lacey and Clicks were filming an IRL, in real-life broadcast while exploring the city. As they sat at the Starlight Hotel Cafe, a young man wearing only neon green shorts approached them. Initially, the streamers assumed he was just an overexcited fan eager to interact with them. However, something about him seemed off. His speech was slurred, his words nonsensical, and his demeanor erratic.
Are you sparring, bro? Are you sparring?
Yo, you good, bro?
Good what?
Suspecting he was under the influence of drugs or alcohol, they teased him briefly for content before moving on with their stream. The encounter seemed insignificant until Lacey uploaded a condensed version of the stream to YouTube. Days later, he received an unexpected email that changed everything. The message came from a man named Trent Coleman, who claimed the boy in the green shorts was his missing younger brother, Troy Coleman. According to Trent, Troy had vanished from his home in Mount Morris Township, Michigan, in May 2024 and had been classified as a homicide case. The family had assumed the worst, fearing he was dead. Yet here he was, alive and wandering the streets of Miami. At first, Lacey suspected the email might be a hoax. However, after some research, he confirmed the story was real. He immediately posted about it on Twitter, stating, "3 months ago, a 17-year-old kid went missing and was presumed dead. Yesterday on stream, he came up to me in Clicks. Now his family knows he's alive and in Miami. I wasn't sure if I should make this public, but I'm hoping this somehow helps him be found for his family." Attached to his tweet was a news article detailing Troy's disappearance. The boy had last been seen in Mount Morris Township around 9:30 a.m. before vanishing without a trace. On May 17th, in the 3 months since his disappearance, Troy had somehow traveled from Michigan all the way to Miami without medication, money, or any clear explanation of how he got there. This was especially concerning because Troy's schizophrenia required vital medication, and without it, he suffered from severe hallucinations. His sudden reappearance only deepened the mystery, leaving Michigan police so baffled that they even began investigating his case as a potential homicide. The fact that Troy randomly appeared on Lacey and Clicks's stream and that his brother happened to be watching was nothing short of a miracle. Yet somehow, the coincidences kept piling up, and what happened next made the entire situation even stranger. While Troy was still on stream, another young fan approached the two streamers, attempting to strike up a conversation. However, before he could introduce himself, Troy interrupted and began speaking to the younger fan. His words were still incoherent, making the streamers increasingly uncomfortable and confused about his intentions. Then, in an unexpected gesture, he handed the younger fan the styrofoam cup he had been holding. The boy took a quick sip of whatever was in the cup and walked away. Lacey's cameraman noticed the exchange and immediately pointed it out. By this point, they were convinced that Troy was on drugs, and the possibility that he had just given a child something laced was deeply troubling. Not wanting to ignore the situation, Lacey confronted Troy and asked him directly about the contents of the cup. Surprisingly, Troy's response was much more coherent than expected.
What was in the drink?
Kidding.
What was in that drink?
In the drink?
Yeah. You gave it to Lou.
It was Coke from Beacon Hotel.
Like Coca-Cola? Making sure. You gave it to the kids.
I gave it to a kid.
He simply stated that it was just a soft drink from the Beacon Hotel. This seemingly insignificant detail turned out to be the crucial lead authorities needed. It confirmed that Troy had been staying at the very hotel he mentioned. From there, investigators quickly tracked him down and reunited him with his family, who were overjoyed to have him back. In a later interview with People.com, Troy's father, Weston Coleman, shared heartbreaking details about what Troy had endured. Apparently, Troy had wanted to visit Florida to meet celebrities. He had researched online, saved up money, and set off for Atlanta by bus. However, during his stay there, he was robbed of everything he had. With nothing left, he traveled the rest of the way to Miami, completely broke. Despite the hardships, his family was just relieved he was alive. Since then, Troy has been living with his family in Michigan, staying out of trouble. On August 3, 2013, 40-year-old James DiMaggio invited family friend Christina Anderson and her 2 children, 8-year-old Ethan and 16-year-old Hannah, over to his home in Boulevard, California. He claimed it was a farewell visit before moving to Texas. This didn't seem unusual, as James had been a close friend of Christina and her husband Brett for quite some time, and was like an uncle to the kids. With Brett away on a 3-month job in Tennessee, James regularly helped drive Hannah to and from gymnastics class. However, what seemed like an innocent invitation quickly turned into a horrifying nightmare. On August 4th, the children's grandparents called the police to report the family missing after not hearing from Christina all day. They informed authorities about her plans to visit James. When investigators arrived at James's home, they found it engulfed in flames. Firefighters rushed to the scene but were too late. Inside the burnt house, they discovered the bodies of Christina, Ethan, and the family dog. The gruesome discovery initially suggested a tragic accident, but further investigation revealed a far more sinister truth. Autopsy reports later showed Christina had suffered severe injuries, including plastic cable ties around her ankles and arms, duct tape marks around her neck and mouth, multiple fractures in her right arm and both legs, a cut on her neck, and at least 12 heavy strikes to the head. Ethan also had multiple fractures across his body. Yet, despite the horrific scene, neither James nor Hannah was anywhere to be found. Investigators quickly realized James had orchestrated the murders to kidnap Hannah, driven by a twisted obsession. A statewide Amber Alert was issued, and authorities launched a massive manhunt spanning the entire Pacific coast. Surveillance footage captured James passing through a Border Patrol checkpoint in Pine Valley at around 10 p.m. Despite the efforts of law enforcement, every lead seemed to turn up empty, until 3 days later. 2 horseback riders in the remote wilderness of Cascade, Idaho, spotted a man and a young girl matching the descriptions of James and Hannah. They immediately reported it to authorities, leading investigators to locate James's car, though he had removed the plates to avoid detection. After 3 more days of relentless searching, the FBI finally discovered James's campsite. Aerial surveillance confirmed Hannah's presence. On August 10th, a tactical rescue mission was launched. James stayed close to Hannah, making it difficult to intervene. However, when he moved away to collect firewood, Hannah spotted a rescue helicopter and began waving. Seizing the moment, the FBI swiftly moved in and rescued her. As they approached, James drew his weapon and fired at an officer, prompting law enforcement to return fire. He was shot 6 times in the head, arms, and upper torso, ending the ordeal. Hannah was finally safe. Now, 27 years old, Hannah has moved on from the horrifying ordeal. She is happily married and living in Vancouver, Canada, with her husband and 1-year-old son. Though the trauma of those days will never be erased, she has rebuilt her life and found peace. The story of Robert McDonnell serves as another reminder of how unpredictable and fragile life can be. On May 27, 2013, the 73-year-old man, suffering from dementia, disappeared from his home in Portland, Maine. Dementia makes even the most familiar places seem foreign, turning an innocent walk into a life-threatening situation. Authorities launched an immediate search, fearing for his safety. Over 14 hours passed with no sign of him. Then, in a twist no one saw coming, a local news reporter covering Robert's disappearance was recording on the street when an elderly man unexpectedly walked into the frame. Initially dismissed as a passerby, the crew quickly realized it was Robert himself. The news team immediately contacted authorities, leading to a heartwarming reunion with his family.
Anybody give a phone call?
Calling the warden service. They're at the
I'm still on the phone.
This is Bob. This is you identifying as Bob McDonald?
I think so. It's Bob McDonough. Yeah.
He looks a lot like a
Watch
guy.
yourself. Watch yourself.
Yeah. That's Bob McDonough.
That's all for this video. We hope you have found this video informative and interesting. What do you think? Was it a pure luck that these people were discovered? Or do you believe there's something more at play? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon for more interesting videos like this. Thank you for watching our video.